I know you feel like you want me, and I guess in a way you do. Holding my breath, unraveling emotions. I need some space to think this through. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. Yeah, I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Look away so you won't see, 'cause the pain is in my eyes. Feels like I could break at any moment and shatter your insides. If you feel my mind, call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. Yeah, I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I would rather lie. I would rather lie. I don't wanna fight. I would rather lie to you. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. Yeah, I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you.
Hello and welcome one and all to another ending week of what has been a fantastic week of Formula 1 racing here on SLR as always. And being Friday, those regulars will know that it is of course the turn for the boys in Tier 1. And my goodness, it is getting pretty tight at the top with, I believe, 5 points separating the top three with only 3 rounds to go between Danny, Justin and Mikender. And Meepo quickly snapping at the heels of these seasoned veterans. But of course, we are here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands and covering all the action, of course, as always, is myself, Tipsy Bob, and the wonderful Mr. Ocean Chief.
Hello, Bob. We're back. Yeah, we're back. It's getting spicy. So just a quick rundown of those championship standings you were mentioning. Danny Co 146 points, Justin 141, Mikender 132, and we also have Meepo in the mix. He's only 17 points behind Danny Co. So it is a 4-way fight for the title today. Heading into the final few rounds of this season, and what a season it's been. McLaren 278 points. Looks like they've got the constructors sewn up, but it's a battle for P2 as AlphaTauri 141 points versus Williams 135. So without further ado, let's get down to the track. And I tell you what, it is looking a bit grey out there, Bob.
It is indeed. Lepson's in the chat already. Chief keeping us informed that it's going to be rain in 10 minutes for the next, well, rain in 10 till 15 minutes. That's strange use of English, but I think I get what he means. Yeah, man. So these guys are going to be pretty much hot on the heels here to Eagle Sun. Okay. It must be a reserve, I would imagine. Or anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, these guys will be pretty hot and spicy to get out onto the track to get a lap in before the wet stuff hits. And that might be all it is. It might be quite a short quality session. But Chief, those things that you popped up there on the screen, quite important to note. Last season's pole was from McKender. What was it? A 1-8, pretty much a 1-8 dead. But the last season's Tier 1, or not last season's, the last time Tier 1 has been in Zandvoort was Mac got pole, but Justin won it. So Justin is on the back of a previous Tier 1 Zandvoort win. So let's see if that keeps him in favour for today, Chief.
Interesting stuff indeed. Yeah, just a wee update on the reserves then. So we do have Tino. We do have Eagle. Well, actually, Eagleson is Eagle Ghost. Apparently, according to chat, our gamer says Eagle Ghost and Lepson have decided to swap around their names a little bit and confuse us. Who else have we got there as a reserve? I'm looking down the list here. I think
Tilda.
Yeah, Tilda, as ever. He won the Tier 3 race this week in Zandvoort. So yeah, should be an interesting race today. But yeah, Tino, he's out of all those reserves, obviously he's the fastest one. And there is a little bit of concern, I have to say, about how he's going to affect the title. Hopefully no shenanigans. But yeah, he will be up there for sure, playing his part, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and to touch on Tilda as well, that was a fantastic race win. We didn't really see it coming. There was a whole carnage with three of the cars getting themselves into just all sorts of trouble. But Tilda was there to capitalise, and Joel actually, from I remember, got a P4 on that as well. So he done a great job. He was saying that if he wins, he would he would do something with his assist. But yeah, that was a really good. I actually really enjoyed Tier 3 this week. And I had it was the pleasure to listen to Gamer and Tunaman, or Tunario as I call him. Yeah, so hopefully we get to hear those guys back in the commentator box again. But the laps are coming in here, Chief. The times are coming in, sorry. And Justin setting the top of the field here, the first into the 8s. An 8.6 almost. Well, you may say up basically 6.5 tenths off pole last time out. Of course, that track does look a little bit greasy. So I would be surprised if we can get as close to the last season's pole, but then again, I wouldn't second guess any of these guys. Of course, as you said, Chief, Tino, here he can put in some remarkable times and always manages a way to win. Even if he's way at the back, he has just got so much pace. But yes, to touch on that, there was a completely not obvious post earlier by, I think, myself about these reserves, and it wasn't completely aimed at anyone at all. To hopefully everyone behaves, and hopefully we get a good title fight for the end of this season.
Yep, I have some intel on the Tier 2 and Tier 3 pull times. So Tier 3, 108.689, and then Tier 2, 108.149. That was by Christian yesterday.
That's quite a tasty battle going on in Tier 2 as well, Chief, isn't it, with Christian and our gamer?
Yeah, it's heating up nicely. 2-way for the title, but Tier 1, 4-way for the title, so it's even better. So we're kind of blessed this season.
We really are, I think.
Watching Danico here, he's setting himself up. He's just in Sector 3, just make sure everything's ready for his hot lap. So I think I'll ride on board with Danico and see how he does on this lap.
Alright, and just as you say that, Eagle apparently, he alt and tabbed out and his game crashed. So that is why he is not with us for quality.
So here we go, Danico heading down to Turn 1. This is the scene of many incidents in the races we have had here every week. There's various lines you can take in there, but generally you want to go deep in and hug that apex late. This fast chicane as well, carry all the momentum through, and then this really nice, it's almost like a carousel. So many lines that can be taken through there. You can run high, you can run low, or you can do a mix of the two. And I love this section of the track. It's such a high-speed right-hander, lots of grip as the car goes downhill, and feels fairly planted there. And again, very high-speed turns here. You want to just carry the momentum through, swing out to each side of the track, and then try to get a very good exit onto this short DRS straight. Might see a few overtakes here. You have to be quite ambitious, get a good run on the guy ahead, send it down the inside here. Can be quite lucrative, but it is high risk. And again, on to the penultimate corner. This one's very important. You just want to nail that apex. Danny Coe does not do that. He misses the apex, and yeah, he runs wide as a result. That has scuppered his lap, but he is going to come into the pits. I wonder if he's coming to the pits there because he's thinking no point setting that time. There's rain on the way. I need to get a good lap in. Also, hello to Wimpy in chat.
Yeah, also, yes, hello to Mr. Wimpy in chat. I was going to say it myself. I think you're right, Chief. I think that's exactly what Dan's doing. He's realising that that's a scuppered lap. Get in quick before this wet stuff happens. We're also going to be able to run on board with Justin. I'm running on board with him at the moment. He's about to start his lap, so in the way I like to keep our eyes firmly fixed, as I like to say, on those deltas to see how he's doing. But note, Chief, last time out here in Tier 1 in Zandvoort, there was a bit of drama that kicked off as we are approaching this corner, just as we lead up to the banked corner. Remember just here, the last time out, Justin was going round someone here and he got run out to that wall there, remember? And that was a big incident in the incident discussions. But anyway, it's a new season, it's a new race, and it's a new day, and these boys are doing pretty good. Justin is up on his time, almost 2/10 in Sector 1, giving himself a purple, and so Justin is definitely on it here. Navigating this one nicely. Still the only driver to get into those 8s. He was out very early, one of the first few laps in. We get a yellow somewhere, maybe someone just driving slowly. Where have we got? Has he done Sector 2 yet? He's up 3/10, Chief, in Sector 2, or his lap so far, sorry. In this last corner, we've seen Boosted lost it out here in Tier 3, and he spun easily to lose it on that curb. You want to carry as much speed as possible, but of course it's easy to get caught out. And Justin crosses the line. This will be an improvement, and it is a significant improvement of a 1:8.2. That will actually be quite a good time or tough time to beat, Chief. Because they're running out of the dry stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tino as well. He is he was on a run there, but he's on mediums, which is interesting. I think he set himself up for another lap possibly, and Danny Coe as well is on an out lap, so gets another chance. I'm seeing a lot of movement on the standings board, trying to follow it as best I can. Noah as well out there. He is in the pits. He is not. Yeah, he's just come into the pits. Unvalidated lap for him. But Danny Coe is coming round the third last corner, and this is where he made the mistake on that initial run. This corner is coming up, so he will he'll be hoping not to make that same mistake again, obviously. But yeah, these track conditions. I don't know if the temperature of the track comes down before it rains, but yeah, I think it's going to start raining any second here. If what Lepson said, anything to go by.
Yeah, the pressure's on Dan. He's done this quite a few times this season where he leaves it very, very late. Now, when I say late, there is 8 minutes to go, but we don't know how long this dry stuff is going to last. So effectively, it could be this could be it. This could be his main run. We've got a yellow. I think it's just Mac up ahead, going slow, getting himself set up. Oh, Dan's setting it purple Sector 1, so this is pretty good. He was going purple the last time in his run. Of course, as you noticed there, Chief, he did run out wide on that final corner and missed the apex. It's kind of a crucial corner. Effectively, they're all crucial, but that last corner, so pivotal. You can win or lose pole very easily on that last corner. How's he getting on here? Approaching Sector 3, a purple Sector 2, so this is looking pretty tasty from Dan the Man. The current Tier 1 championship leader just has to navigate this corner, really. This one, pretty good. This might be pole, Chief. Here we go. Dan the Man crossing the line. DRS activated, I think activated. And is it going to be pole? Oh, it's not, but it's getting tight up there.
Yeah, Meepo as well. He's 108.235, just the slimmest of margins off Justin. So the top three, very, very tight right now. And I wonder if they do have time for another lap as Lepgo retires in the pits. So he's opting out of this final run. I reckon, yeah, it's all going to come down to if this rain starts before you can get back, get a fresh head on, do your out lap. That's quite a lot of time to pass before you can get out there. There are a few drivers out at the minute. on their outlaps, so they're trying to beat that rain. Justin's one of them actually. So we'll have a look at Justin as he is in Sector 2. We'll be starting his lap pretty soon.
Yeah, I get on board with him, Chief, whenever he's about to start. But just before we kick off, really, I suppose we should have done this a bit sooner, being the consummate professionals that we are. If people can let us know if the audio levels are all right before we get into the race, because we don't want to miss anything today in this Tier 1 title fight at Zandvoort. So if you can just give it a wee heads up, folks, I almost said that wrong. Folks, if the audio levels are all right, if you can hear us, okay, and the audio is okay. But anyway, I'm waffling a bit here. So Justin, Chief, the current pole sitter, and the man that is historically finished P2 quite a lot, and just about P2, or just missed out the championship win a few times, is on his final, I would say almost final lap here. It is a purple Sector 1. He's improved a little bit, almost a 10th up in Sector 1. And it's going to take quite a bit of a lap to beat his own time. Of course, note I did point out at the beginning of this stream that last time out here in Zandvoort, McKender did a 180. So there is an improvement there. For all these drivers, especially Justin and McKender.
And he's a 10th up, Bob. He's a 10th up on his time. This could be good. This could be good.
This could be very good. A couple of cars got on his way, and it made him run
wide!
Oh,
no!
And I think that was just enough to put him off. And that's it, done. That's Justin. He's probably not going to run again now. That'll be it. So tension's on now for Meepo. Meepo is up. And do you know what, Chief? He is up just enough to take pole. And I mean just. He would be taking pole by, oh my goodness. Oh no, he's not going to take pole now. He's getting slippy. He slipped there. That's not going to be pole. And he's out. So it must be getting very wet now, Chief, because Meepo got lost in the traction. If Meepo was going to be able to hold on to it, he would have took pole by I would have said point, 00 point, 00 something, 002, something like that. But who else now? So Meepo's not going to be able to do it. Is Mac improving? Mac has improved. Mac is up, Chief. Yeah, 10th, which is enough actually to be on pole if he is able to carry it. And he'll be on pole by what? He'll be on 1? Oh my goodness, surely it's not going to be that tight. Surely not. Let's see it's Sector 2 time. It's that's much more improved here. So this is looking pretty good for Mac. Oh, it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain. I'm seeing spits of rain here. Unless it's a graphical glitch for me, but I'm seeing bits of rain in front of Mac here. Mac is crossing the final corner, and that DRS will be activated, I believe. And here we go. This should be pole. It should be pole, and it is pole.
Oh my
by just enough.
That is crazy. 0.005. Oh my god! And he did it with a wet. It was starting to rain there. I saw that too, Bob.
Chief,
so, yeah.
Sorry, Dan the man is on another lap, and it's wet. I cannot. If Dan improves and gets up to the front back of the grid, this would be a mega drive, because that is clearly wet or slippy out there. These guys are really struggling. Oh, who was that? That was a Red Bull sitting out a bit farther than maybe Dan would have liked. But yeah.
I think this sector is going to be particularly hairy in these conditions. You do need a lot of grip on the back end. Oh, and he runs onto the curb there. I thought that might have been a bit slippier. Oh, and there we go.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing that one coming. That's it. That is it. Mac steals pole by a slower lap than he done last time out in Zandvoort. So, but that, of course, is the nature of these conditions. As Dan is.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying, our gamer in chat saying he would have sold his PC if Danny improved his time there in those conditions, but his PC is now safe.
You can see that? I don't see that in the chat.
Oh, it just popped up for me.
I maybe need to reset that. Let me see here. Oh, so there's been chat going on and it didn't refresh for me. What's this? I like to see what's going on in the chat.
Tino in P7 though, that is interesting. So I reckon maybe he's just here for the lulz, just wants to get a good seat for this championship battle. Noah as well, P5, best of the rest. Touge P6. Saw him in yesterday's race. Didn't have the greatest of times. I think he had an incident or two. What we have seen a lot this week at this track is a lot of safety cars. It's such a narrow track, and if there's any cars out of position, it can be quite tricky to pass. We've seen a few passes on that windy straight after the hairpin in sector 1, and generally, what we definitely know is you can't go free wide there. That is definitely not recommended. Too wide is a bit of a mission in itself, but free wide doesn't work out. It actually took out the free leaders of a race on Wednesday there, so a lot of drama, but yeah.
Tino's going back out on track with 35 seconds to go on hards.
Yeah, okay. I mean, why not? Oh, he's retired.
Yeah, 3 wide on that corner you're talking about is just like a suicide mission, really. 2 wide is tricky enough. You need to have a lot of trust in the driver that you're fighting if you're going to pass there. Also, Chief, look at the front 4. The front 4 are the 4 potential contenders for this. Well, not potential. They are contenders for this title. Of course, it's mainly Mac, Justin, and Danny, but Meepo is there. He still has a chance at taking this. And what an absolute curveball, dark horse jobby that would be, Chief. If Meepo takes the title, that would be quite an achievement from him.
That would be something else, yeah. But look at, like you say, the top 4 split by under a tenth. That is crazy. Noah, the best of the rest, and P5, Touge, Tino, Fox, Naikow, and Lep Ghost make up the top 10. Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. We don't actually know the race conditions for the actual race. If it's going to continue being wet, or we're going to get changeable conditions. I suspect it's going to be dry. We haven't had any information from Lepson in chat.
Well, sorry, I was just chewing a little bit of a sweet there.
Blue sky.
Well, it's not super blue. It's a little bit hazy. A lot of people like wet races. I'm not a fan of them. I think it just kind of just neutralizes a race, and everyone just kind of falls into their wee little routine, and then that's it. You don't normally see how much, well, historically anyway, the races I've been in and watched, you don't normally see an awful lot of action in wet races, but I will concede that sometimes on the right track, it can really certainly mix things up. But I hope that we get a dry race.
Yeah.
So if anyone with intel, namely Lapsin, has any information, is it going to be a dry race? Sometimes Justin lets us know. Oh, he says, it seems dry.
Oh, seems dry? That's interesting.
Seems dry. That's there's a lot of doubt in those 2 words, isn't there?
Yes.
It doesn't instill confidence. It seems dry.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a dry start, which is great. So, I mean, if it is wet at the end of the race, I mean, I could spice things up a bit, but yeah, I'd be completely fine with a dry race. We want to see these guys at their absolute limit. Tire strategy wise, just judging by the previous 2 races we've had here this week, generally it's been hard to tell because there's been so many safety cars, but I think initially the guys either go for a soft hard, medium hard. Soft medium can work if you can extend the life of those tires. And I'm getting a message here. Fox has joined.
Yeah, I see this too. So I was just going to say that it's quite a delayed. Oh, well, here we are. I think we're joining now. Back on the track. Yep. Okay. So there was a wee bit of an issue there, I think, with Fox, or probably Fox. Yeah, because I think Gamer is just spectating. Yep. When he really should be racing here in Tier 1 because he's good enough for it.
Yes.
He really is good enough for it. He can definitely compete up here. But we'll give him a break today. He's worked hard this week. Commentating in Tier 3 and then fighting for a title in Tier 2. We'll give him a break.
Yeah,
but,
you can sit back and enjoy this one. Grab the popcorn. Popcorn? What the hell is popcorn?
The popcorn, yeah. Sit back and listen to the pros. I mean...
I think popcorn is what you get in West Belfast, isn't it?
Or hair, mate, you got some popcorn, would you? I realised I've just completely alienated most of the people listening to this.
Hopefully no one
Anyone
from
is-
West Belfast is listening, or we'll send the boys around.
We Westies, yeah.
Looking at tire strat, lots of hard tires, most of the top 10 in fact on hards. That goes to the first medium runner, and then 3 medium runners, P13, P14, P15. So yeah, I think that indicates, yeah, it definitely is going to be a dry race, as Justin has confirmed.
Yeah, he says we were baited. But you know what, Chief? I think for your own sanity, you shouldn't be calling him Lip Ghost. Because you do know that that's going to frickin' stick in your head.
Yeah. Let's just call him
Just
Lip. Yeah.
Eagleson.
They're messing
I
with
think
us.
the only thing is, at least all the names are pronounceable. Because, I mean, we often get these really complicated names that we can never pronounce. And they're usually Finnish. They're always the tricky ones.
Yeah, and I actually, speaking of hard to pronounce names, Ryad Jamakovic has joined the session, so he is starting P15, one of the medium runners at the back end of the grid. So glad he could join us. We have 16 drivers on track. I am actually getting super hyped for this one, man. I can't contain my excitement. Oh dear.
Yeah, listen, I hope you're listening, Babs. This is us excited. He talks about, well, where's the passion? Lots of passion on display. I told you before, I really like that Riyadh guy. He's a quiet chap, doesn't say much, good racer, turns up pretty much every week on almost any tier that he can race in, and yeah, he does a good job, doesn't get himself into too much trouble, sensible driver. Good addition. Anyway, enough of the waffle. It's time to get into the main event of the evening. I think I was pronouncing a boxing match there. It's time for... Okay, I was going to do it there. Sure. Right. Anyway, it's time to get stuck in. The lights are on, the revs are on, and I'm going to run on board with Meepo to see how his launch is like. And boom, off we go. And McKender leads the field away here in Zandvoort. A couple of moves further back, but so far up at the front here, nothing switching around in the Sector 1 already. We get a yellow with somebody's off. I think that's Fox's car is disconnected or desynced, but never mind. No safety car. We're continuing on with this battle, and these front four all following suit. Everyone pretty much following suit. Oh, we got Tino and Tudge battling. I think Tino got past Tudge there, so Tino already making his move. He's eager to get caught up ahead. Actually, you know what? Fox's car has stopped on track further back, and he has retired. Hopefully we can get that moved quickly, and there's no lap 1 safety car. There we go. It is indeed gone, so no risk of safety car. We're back underway. We've got a battle here between Tudge and Noah, and Noah's actually Tino. Hang on a minute, I just blinked for a minute, and Tino went from 7th to 5th already. My goodness, he's on the back.
Oh, Noah's off. He's in the wall. Oh my word. Sorry. Yeah, Tino was able to overtake Noah because he made a mistake there, and then he made the second mistake, and that's proved much more costly as he's front wing damage. Yikes. And Ryan as well.
McKender's getting passed by Justin. Justin has sent it up the inside, and here we go. This is a great track for fighting on. People say you can't overtake in Zandvoort. You certainly can if you know how to do it. And these front 5 for sure definitely know how to do it. Also, just quickly to point out here that our gamer is saying that there is rain after the race finish, but if there's a safety car, we could get, rain before the end of the race. 3 people crashed, he says, or spun. Really? Who was 3 people? Okay, well, never mind. Well, Riyadh's into the pits, and he's just out of the pits. Noah just coming out of the pits. I don't know who the third one was. But, Dan the Man is keeping a watching brief here.
Yeah, you know what's kind of worrying, Bob? I don't know if it's the same on your screen, but P3 and P14 are showing weird times on the intervals. It's showing Meepo is 1 minute and 11 seconds down, Danny Co 1 minute and 12 seconds down. I hope that's not some technical issues. It's going to affect the race in some way. But we'll keep an eye
I
on
think
that.
I might be just you, Chief. Sorry to cut across you. I think I might be just you because for me, Meeple is almost 3/10 behind. Danny 2/10 behind. Tino 3, 6. So it's all pretty much fine. What did you say? P14. P14 is 16 seconds off the lead for me.
Oh, it was P3 and P4, but it seems to have fixed itself now. So hopefully that's not some technical bug. Because I am getting some glitching issues as well. So yeah, I'm just getting a wee bit nervous that this race is going to be affected by Codemasters once again. But hopefully that's not the case. Go ahead, Bo.
As soon as you said that, Chief, there was a bit of a lag spike there I seen, and Meeple kind of walked forward and then back again. So I don't think it's him. I think it might be the server. But yeah, Dan the man has had a couple of looks there at Meeple, and he has had a few run-ins with Meeple this season, and provided us with some glorious short video voice clips of Dan the man, getting his frustrations out. So yeah, Dan Meeple is in the middle of a McLaren sandwich.
Tino is going for the move here on Danny Co. He was using a lot of ERS, and I think that caught Danny Co off guard. He's trying to go around the outside on turn 1. Oh, he's going to have the inside for the chicane. It's getting close. Wheel banging is happening, and I was very fearful that he was going to catch Danny Co's front end there and send him out wide. But Tino up to P4, so the prophecy is real. Tino is already having an impact on this race.
He is indeed, and he's now got Meeple and McKinder just up ahead of him, and then of course Justin. So let's see how Tino navigates these. So far everything's pretty good at the moment. Dan the man will be thinking it's not ideal naturally, but if Tino is carrying that pace from P7, it's probably only a matter of time before he starts challenging the P3 slot there off Meeple. And sometimes it's actually worth your while letting these guys pass, if the really, really fast guys pass, because then they have to navigate the guys up ahead of them, and that, if you're able to keep up with them, can breed opportunity.
Yeah, and just looking at Tino's ERS, he's about half of everyone around him, so that may come into play later on in the race, as the likes of Danico, for example, has 92% ERS, so he wasn't willing to use that to defend too hard. He's playing the long game. It is a long race actually, with 36 laps. Laps are short, but yeah, 36 laps, so it can feel like quite a long race, this one.
I'll tell you, Chief, remember earlier we were getting a bit confused, something about the reserves. It's just clicked in my head. I know what the confusion was. Oh, Dan the man, Dan the man, Dan the man. Oh my goodness me, Dan the man nearly lost it.
Huge one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Did you catch that, Chief?
Yeah, I just about saw that. Oh my word.
Oh
it's
my
getting
goodness.
sketchy. So he's still within DRS, which is the important thing, but he doesn't want to lose sight of this front bunch. They will just take off under DRS.
Yeah, he definitely wants to keep up as close as possible. So that will be a wake-up call there for Dan. Not a wake-up call, but kind of a sobering moment. He's still within the DRS, and he's got a bit of boost, so we want to catch up. I'll probably see Tino here go for this. He is attacking. Here we go. Meeple is taking the outside line. I don't think he's going to fight it too much. And yeah, he just slots through. Dan did put up much more of a tougher fight than that. I think Meeple is just quite happy to let him go for the moment. Yeah, Chief, the reserve that I was talking about that we were expecting was a Desi.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Edmund, and Gamer says in chat that he smells a desync. Possibly, it seems to be pretty good now. But yeah, we'll not tempt fate. And we'll see how this goes. This is quite a raging battle going on. This is fantastic. This is why you're seeing, folks, why this title fight is so tight. Because these guys, look at this, they're just following nose to tail. One mistake will cause absolute disaster for each of those drivers. A battle for this title. But so far holding ground. Naturally, I would think now we're going to see a move here between one of these guys, Mac or Tino, or maybe Dan on Meeple. Maybe not, because these guys are quite close. But Tino not deploying, and of course Mac does indeed pass. And now we have Justin back in P2, Tino up to P3.
It's getting tense, Bob. I can barely contain myself here. Oh, and there look like Tino taking alternate line, going for that high line around the around that hairpin with a high banking.
Yeah, it almost looked like Justin went a wee bit slidey there, but if anyone is familiar with Tier 1, they should be getting a little bit tense right now for what's happening between up ahead here between second and third. I hope everything goes according to plan.
Oh, car off. Naiko is off. Oh my word, I thought he was going to go into the wall there, but he managed to save it. And he has no damage, but yeah, just coming out of that last corner, went wide. Able to save the car though. Drops down to P12. I was just about to say, Bob, just looking back in the mid-pack, Crystal's got himself up to P7 as Ryad retires in the pits. So he's had enough. 7 laps in, and he's opting out of this one. So that leaves 14 drivers in the mix. But yeah, Crystal's doing pretty well here. P7, not too far off the leading pack. But now Touge. Oh yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Justin, oh, what's going on here? Justin and Tino almost both having a look at Mac, but Justin, it looked like he lifted early. I don't know what happened there, and I'm very confused by that one. And Tino almost was able to slap up through the middle of them there. So yeah, confusing that one. I really am generally confused with that. It looked like Justin had that moved on, and then he kind of lifted or brake earlier than normal. I'll maybe need to see that one back. But he probably wasn't feeling too confident. He might have maybe run a bit too deep in that one, so he got out of it pretty quickly. As you said, Naiko retires. No safety car so far, which is what we like to see. And Noah is going to have a very lonely race. And this is the thing, Chief, when you see people saying, you know, no safety car. I know that's a big debate that goes on. It's quite a few people down Tier 3 keep on saying no safety car, but it's a double-edged sword because someone like Noah would love a safety car to give him back in the race, otherwise he'll just probably retire. But oh, a bit of a lag back there from Tino, a huge bit of lag back, so maybe our gamer is nostrils are working pretty good and maybe there is a little bit of desync, but Justin now going past. Oh, who's that off?
Yeah, look further back. Oh, Danny Coe. Oh, he gets boxed in by Tino. And yeah, Danico got the move on on Meepo, but yeah, Tino looked like he moved out and was going to box Danico in, but Danico able to get that position regardless, up to P4, and now pushing Tino down this windy straight. But there's not really an opportunity to pass here unless you are willing to deplete your ERS.
Wow, this is getting tense.
It is.
It is really tense. Just as you were saying that Noah was way off track just in this previous corner that Danny's on now, and yeah, he was just about kept it out of the wall. But as I was saying, you know, these guys saying no safety car, guys like Larson and Noah, they're basically out of this race. Oh, someone is off, and as soon as I say that, it is indeed Scullion in the Aston. He was off. He's back on track. But yeah, so these guys, no safety car, they're out of this race for good if it just says like this. So you would understand that it's, you know, beneficial for some drivers, but then these guys at the front that have a strap battle going on, they'll be saying no safety car, so you can't win. But McKenna here is going to have a go at, no, he's not. He almost thought about it, but he backed out of it for now. And yeah, this is we've got a 6-way fight at the moment, Chief. Here, 6 cars all following behind each other, and Tudge has really come alive in this season. I think. He had a great season last time out with Mac as his teammate. Scullion does indeed retire. He's called it quits. This is what I'm saying. When these guys, when they're so far back and there's no chance of them catching up, and if the safety car was off, this is what happens. They just pull into the pits and retire. And we all lose out in this because then we lose out in drivers. That's why I support keeping safety car on. Snacks. It's nice that I'm talking directly to him. See that? As long as safety car is on, it gives people a hope. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think the issue with Tier 3 is that there's just so many safety cars, and yeah, 5 safety cars a race can be kind of frustrating. But yeah, like you say, there is both sides of the coin. I'm looking at this battle though, Bob, on track. There's the battle for the lead, which all eyes are on, but there is a nice wee battle between Lepgoose Tilda and Eagle Sun for P8. And it looks like maybe Tilda might go for a move here. No, I think he's too far back, heading into turn 1. But let's go up front again. Justin leading the way. The gaps are as tight as you'd expect in Tier 1 between these front runners. And
Yeah, Tino was able to conserve a bit more battery there, Chief, after running quite deep on it. Got himself into a nice wee position here, and I think he's just settling down now. He's in a good position. He's able to charge up a bit of battery, and then I think he's just going to wait and see what happens, what plays out here. Of course, if there's an opportunity, he will take it. Meepo had initially dropped off the back of this field a little bit, still stayed within the DRS, but it was a touch and go for a moment there. And you can see that he's down quite a bit on battery compared to the other guys. And then Tudge sitting nicely with about 85%. Excuse me, that's a little bit of a hiccup there. Sitting here on about 90%. So yeah, Tudge, a little bit of a gap between the rest of these guys, but so far it's a holding position. Everyone's holding fire now. We might see Mac here, Chief, go for it. I think he is. He's actually deploying early, and so there's going to be a straightforward move. And Tino not deploying any battery whatsoever, just using these the Slipstream and his raw talent, which he has in abundance. And yeah, all these guys are just kind of following suit now. This battle further back, Chief Tilda getting past Lepson there, and Lepson will be keen to get that move back again. Takes a wider line, cuts back, and oh, there goes Lepson. There goes Lepson.
Oh my word, just saved the car there. Usually go into the wall if that happens, but good reaction time from him. But yeah, he drops down the order, so it's between Tilda and Eagleson now for that P8 spot. We'll keep an eye on that, but again, I can't keep my eyes off this lead pack. I think something's going to happen. It's the usual tier 1 boil in it. It just boils away, simmers away, and then yeah, towards the end of the race it all starts kicking off, and we're not even at the halfway point, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's gained at the moment. They're leading the race. You don't gain nothing, as you said, Chief. It just kicks off, and usually at the very end, that's when you see some magnificent bit of drama, as Justin now returning the favour.
Oh, and Tino as well. Tino's going to go for it. He's down into P2 up the inside of McKender. Oh my word, is McKender going to be able to hold it around the outside? I don't think so. Tino has the lead into the chicane, and yeah, he takes P2 from McKender, so a bit of fin on fin action. You'd love to see it.
Yeah. Now that leaves Justin now to lead the way, with Tino not too far behind. I don't know what's going to happen here, man. It's so it's tense, but at the same time relaxing. That sounds a bit weird because you know. Oh, Dan, a wee bit twitchy there as well. I wonder is Dan running a very oversteery car, because he seems to be really sliding almost some of these corners, which is going to be absolutely detrimental to his tyre wear. And when things get this tight and squeezy bum part of the season, every little mistake can have a detrimental effect. But Tino will have the DRS, not deploying battery. And this might be, well, Tino probably will go for this now. Is he? It's going to be very late. Yeah, no, backs out of it. That move quite clear, because it's not something you want to go late into. We can see from previous races here that if you go into that corner late in Tier 1, go for a late dive, it usually ends up in carnage.
Yeah, and I think, when you're thinking about Justin, what he's got cooking in his brain right now, is he thinking like, listen, I'm not fighting Tino, I'm fighting these other guys. Like, Tino is a reserve. He will, if he wins the race, he will take the 25 points, obviously, but really Justin's mission here is finish ahead of all the other guys. McKender, Danico and Meepo, those are the contenders for the title. So of course you want to win on track, but whenever you're talking about a title, you do have to get the calculator out and start just thinking about the different possibilities. And really Justin doesn't want to be fighting Tino too hard here. He just needs to finish ahead. Oh my god, Tino, another lag spike and went right into McKender. His car was ghosted. That would have been a huge moment for McKender in the cockpit, and I think that's going to mean McKender might get a run down into turn 1, but nope, he does not actually.
To touch on what you were saying there, Chief, about Justin, I think you're probably right. Whenever I was doing that last season in Tier 3, for me it was always that was on my mind, just outscore Heat in the Merc, because Bansi bailed out any early, so he was the only guy I needed to make sure that I either kept in touch with or finish the head off. And so for me, I didn't care who won the race as long as I could keep in touch or keep ahead of heat. And so that should be what's in Justin's mind as well, as you rightly said, Chief. If Tino passes, let him go. As long as you finish ahead of these guys, that's your main goal.
Yeah, and obviously we're not expecting any shenanigans in this race, but I mean there is a worry as well. If Tino does get ahead, is he going to start taking it a bit easier and backing Justin up into the drivers behind? Hopefully that's not the case, but let's have a look. Tino is too far back this lap, and I think Tino at this point, yeah, he's just harvesting that ERS, isn't he? He's almost up to full once again, and I reckon once he gets to full he's going to attack, because we are coming up to the pit stops. Pit window will be opening pretty soon, and I reckon some of those medium guys, just as I say that, Lep Ghost is in the pits on those mediums.
Yep. Good point you make there about Tino getting ahead. Unlikely to happen, because as they like to tell us, the Finns don't help each other, they're out there for themselves. So it's important that we put that out there, we clarify that the Finns race for themselves and not for each other. I need to point that out, just to make it clear. Because we do get a lot of heated comments saying, "Oh, it's not the Finn helping Finn, doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah." We know it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does.
You can't win, Bob. It's either you're glazing or I don't know what.
That's it.
What's the opposite of glazing? Anti-glazing?
Anti-glazing? Shaving?
But these guys will be thinking about when are they going to pit. Are they going to go for the undercut? Are they just going to go when Tino pulls out there as if to say, I'm thinking about it. Tino back end. Do you see that?
Yeah, they are right.
Yikes. I heard earlier in the week drivers were saying hards are not good on this track at all, so maybe that's why we're seeing a wee bit of twitchiness out there from the likes of Tino and Danico, as obviously they're trying to eke the very maximum performance out of their cars right now. But I reckon when they get those mediums on, they might feel a bit more comfortable with that extra grip, and we may see a few moves happening before the final flag.
Yeah, to touch on the tyres, I always remembered a comment that was, or a bit of advice, or an opinion more, put to me by the great Icewind, who unfortunately will not be racing again. He's called it quits in Formula 1. But one of the things he told me about this game is that basically the medium is the overall best race tyre in this game. So yeah, these guys will be absolutely delighted to get the mediums on. Our gamer's asking your favourite donut flavour. We'll touch on that in a minute, Chief, because Tino is about to go past Justin. This is it. No, he is. He's not. He is. He's not. He's not. He's not. He still might. He still might. No, he's not.
he was until he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he was until he wasn't. That's exactly right. Favorite donut flavor? I mean, flavors. Hang on, Tino.
What the hell happened? That is a very unusual place for that to happen. I think Justin must have got a wheel in the dirt. Oh,
Tino!
Oh my word, Tino!
No.
Oh
No!
Oh my word!
Oh no!
He saved
that was
it.
A big dog.
That was a huge moment for Tino there. How did he save that? And he almost collected a McLaren there. I'm not sure if it was Danico or McKenna. I suspect it was Danico actually. It's a huge moment.
He clipped back and then almost collected down. He's lagging as well. He lagged back there behind. Tudge just flew past him as well. So, very bizarre place to go for a move, or maybe it was a genius move to catch people napping. It was either a genius move or a bit of tomfoolery. But he's ended up coming out the worst there from everyone. Back down to pretty much where he started. All that work, Chief, for nothing.
Yeah, I think he's getting frustrated as well with these, because I'm seeing lag spikes or some kind of lag issues, and I reckon he's probably getting the same in the cockpit. Well, and when you're trying to when you're driving at the level he is, you really could do without that. So that might be frustrating him a little bit, but he is still in the hunt here. He's the last guy in this DRS train, but this is the lead pack, and thankfully he is still in it. So a little bit of saving grace for him there, as I think Danny was that McKender's back end got very loose there. So these guys very much so looking forward to getting some fresh mediums. But I think there'll be a couple of laps yet. I'm thinking around lap 20 onwards for those mediums, and I'm wondering if anyone's thinking about running on to the sauce. I think mediums is a safe bet, for sure. I think that's the way to go. But yeah, I mean, you might want to run a bit longer on these hards because there is always that threat of a safety car.
Yeah, I think that probably a medium would be the best bet. I wouldn't risk it here on softs. Yeah, but
Ooh, Justin in the pits. Justin pulls the trigger, and we've seen this before from him. He does usually go for something different, try to catch everyone off guard, and I definitely was not expecting that. But he is the first one to pit on the mediums, so I think the undercut does tend to be quite powerful here. So we will see next time round if everyone else responds to that. As Tino is falling off the back of Touge here, he's 1.6 behind, and I think he's having some big issues in that cockpit. Some technical gremlins, probably.
Technical difficulties for Tino in the Red Bull. Chief, what about this donut thing from Gamer? Well, we've got a wee bit of a lull here. Have you got a favorite flavor?
I can't. I'm happy with a jam donut, to be honest with you, man. Bit of jam.
I actually like a jam donut myself. The thing is, a lot of people, think like the big ring with a hole in the middle, the gravy rings we call those. But yeah, I really do like a real jammy donut.
Yep. And they can be quite messy as well. But here, Bob, look at this. Our Gamer says he reckons Tino got wing damage from that clip with McKender, that little bit of contact, as Touge and Tino are in the pits. But McKender and Danico, Meepo as well, staying out. So they are choosing not to respond to Justin. And are they going to try to go into sauce? I reckon no. I think they're still going to go into mediums, but time will tell. Maybe our Gamer can give us a bit of insight into that, as he is well versed with this track.
Well, Tino just went into the pits there, Chief, and I had a watching brief there on the pit stop. Pretty good pit stop, but no wing change. So maybe not significant damage or any damage at all, but yeah, no wing change for Tino. So now it's basically to see when Mac, Dan, and Meepo come in, and is it going to be a double stack? Surely not. You know what? Mac and Dan, one of these guys has to come in now, because if there's a safety car now, they're going to get massively held up in the double stack. So one of them should really come in first.
Yeah, I think McKenna probably going to go for it, yeah, because he's a lead car. No, not.
No, he's not.
So yeah, I think Danico was wary of the fact that McKenna didn't pit. It was his opportunity to come into the pits. Meepo staying out as well, so this guy's definitely running long. And I wonder, I think McKenna's going to go mediums. He usually favors the mediums, but maybe Meepo's thinking something different here. Maybe he's going to go for that hard soft strategy, as Justin sets the fastest lap of the race, is up to P3. Let's see where Danico comes out, and I tell you what, he's almost 3 seconds behind Justin, so that undercut paid off massively for Justin. But Danico will have these fresher tires, so hopefully he can make that count and close up that gap to Justin, who is technically leading this race. Of course, McKenna.
The only problem Daniel Mann has, Chief, is that he's got a raging Tino right behind him.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah.
Like right up his chuff. I think you can say that.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I just think that we're just people that wouldn't get that really. So I think I'm allowed for that. Oh, Dan eating that curb. He must be feeling the pressure of Tino. But yeah, when is these guys coming in? Is Mac going to come in? I would imagine so. And this might be an absolute blinder by Justin. We're setting the fastest lap, 11 point. Oh, no, he's not actually. It quickly changed from a few drivers. Tino, 1 minute 11 dead.
Schoolline leaves the session, but yeah, Danico. I mean, it's an interesting phase of the race. Everybody's kind of, the pit stops haven't played out yet, so But what we can tell is Danico is about 3 seconds away from Justin. He has Touge in between him and Justin, so he will have to navigate Touge. But I think the lack of DRS is going to cost Danico. Once he gets past Touge, he will not get DRS until he catches Justin. Of course, Justin won't have DRS either. Interesting. I'm very, very intrigued by Mikender and Meepo staying out long, going for this overcut. And Mikender is coming into the pits. Meepo chooses to follow him in. So let's see what tires they put on. As we're now in lap 24, so 15 laps left. And yeah, Mikender onto the mediums as suspected. Meepo also mediums. Yeah, so everybody playing it safe. Nobody going for the softs there, apart from Larson, I see at the back end of the grid. Nothing to lose, I guess, as Tino sets the fastest lap of the race behind Danico. And I didn't catch that, actually. Danico and Tino both getting past Touge on that straight.
Yeah, I'm running on board with that, Chief, watching that battle. I've noticed also that Tino is draining his battery here. Fighting chasing after Dan. He's down to 20%. So Dan the man is on an absolute mission here to hunt down that 2.3 second gap of Justin. But man, what a great pit stop call from Justin to come in that early, because look at this, he's given himself a real good breather.
Yep,
of
he's
course,
got clean air all around, and he has full ERS.
And we were talking about the softs, Chief. There's Larson has been the only man to brave it today. On the softs, he will likely be straight back in again shortly, probably after lap 4 or something like that.
Yeah, bit of a battle going on for P11. It looks like there's still a battle for P7 as well. I see X Crystal's Eagleson both fighting over P7, but yeah, all eyes once again up front as Danico is reining in Justin. Every lap he's taking a few tenths out of that 3 second gap. He's now got it down to 1.9, and there's plenty of laps left. So Justin out front might want to engage some ERS. Obviously not too much. He doesn't want to leave himself with nothing to defend with, but yeah, he does want to use a little bit of it, because I mean, if you're sitting at 100%, you're effectively wasting ERS. I mean, you could use some and still be 100% by the time you hit turn 1, as it's quite a heavy braking zone there, and you can recharge quite a bit of ERS.
But we've seen this happen quite a lot this season, Chief. You know, when Dan the man gets those soft or those mediums on, he just comes alive. Like, he's an absolute machine when he gets those mediums on. But then we've also seen, you know, Justin making these great strat calls, getting out the front and then leading for a while, and then Dan hunting him down. I think this is a fair thing to say. I don't think the guys don't mind. I think on raw pace on a track, or like race pace over a distance, as Tino is going to have a look here at Dan, he's probably not going to do it yet. I think Dan does have just a margin on Justin, but for like one lap pace, like Justin's got a 1 lap quality lap is phenomenal. But I think over a distance, I think Dan has shown this season that he's just got a margin. Just got a margin, I would say. Remember Silverstone again, whenever it all came down to that second last corner. But Crawley gives us a little bit of a wave. Hello, Crawley. Welcome. And it was NFA, I agree.
Shots fired.
Stirring the pot. I'm stirring the pot.
Meepo, interestingly, came out of the pits there and has not been able to regain that DRS range to Mikender. He's just tantalizingly close. He will definitely want to be getting on the back of Mikender, as those guys are closing up on this lead pack. They, of course, Mikender and Meepo on these freshest of the mediums. And that will come into play, because Mikender has closed that gap down quite a lot in just over a lap, down to 1.5. So once he gets within range of Touge, then that's when we're going to see this race come alive once again. But Meepo 1.2 behind, he misses out on DRS for that lap. So yeah, he's also using a bit of ERS to try to close that gap up as well, so that's going to come into play later in the race. But yeah, up front, look at this gap down 1.2 from P1 to P2. Tino right on the back of Danico. This is definitely shaping up for another Tier 1 finale special.
Yeah, another last lap wonder. That is, of course, if we don't get a road safety car, which has happened a few times across the tiers. Namely, it has happened in Tier 1 as well. And it never fails to throw up a little bit of drama. But so far, I think it's been pretty good racing today. Nothing really, that stands out of being bad. I think the guys are driving phenomenally, respectfully. It's all pretty good.
Danico has got that DRS range. He got DRS this lap on the start-finish straight, able to close that gap up even more. And you have to say, it's looking good here for Danico on the freshest of these top 4 runners. But I'm looking at McKender and Meepo as well. Once they close up on this bunch, they are going to be in a really good spot as well. They have a few overtakes to do, but I would definitely not count them out of this race to the flag.
Yeah, man. And Crystal's keeping in touch here with Eagleson. Could be battle going on further back, Chief, between these two. But it's the main pack, of course, as you know, is that front section, which we will be keeping our eyes on. You just know that those guys were just kind of trying to gradually position themselves for like the real last lap frenzy. And you can just feel it brewing, bubbling away. It's simmering. That's a good word. It's simmering. It's just sitting there on the what would you call it? On the hob, low heat. What's going to happen up ahead here? Oh, Dan the Man, Chief, is taking the race lead from Justin. Here's me thinking that was going to simmer. Not for Dan. He's not hanging about. He's saying, the hell with all that Gordon Ramsay talk. I'm going to just take off here into the sunset. But remember, Chief, I'm going to remind you of something Mr. Gamer said at the beginning of this race. Rain. Remember that word? Well, have you seen the sky? It is certainly rolling in. And if anyone knows rain clouds, folks, it's me and Chief, because it practically rains here all the time. It even rains when the sun is shining. The sun is splitting the trees, and you will still get rain. You can even get rain here when there's no clouds in the sky. That sounds weird, but it actually happens. Yeah. We call them sun showers. We call them sun showers. So yes, that certainly looks like rain, especially there, up ahead there. That looks like it's a pretty nasty, overcast kind of rain coming. So safety car now will be detrimental. McKender, DRS activated, flooring it to get past Tudge. And he is just about gonna make it. Is he? Is he? Is he? Is he? Is he not? He is he? He is. He is. He has. There we go.
Yeah, I think a storm's coming in one form or another, as McKender is looking very fighty on these fresh mediums, 6 lap old versus the guys ahead, 9 lap, 10 lap, 8 lap. So I think, yeah, Danico was just right to make that move early and get ahead of Justin. Fresher tires, he's going to try and make those count, maybe try and build a lead over Justin, but Justin is keeping him honest here. 3/10 is the gap, and yeah, this is about to kick off. We're heading into the last 6 laps of this race. Bob, I can't take it, man. My heart. We're too old for this, man. This is this race should come with a health warning.
You're bloody right there, man. And look at Justin skimming the end off Dan the Man there. And my hearts are not the greatest either. I went to an ECG and they says, oh, it's not ideal, but yeah. But we'll talk to that some other day. Look at this. Quickly in the chat, Crawley says that he's going to predict that Tino will send Justin into the wall, as Justin is going to have a go here at Dan the Man. Tino squeezing up on the back here too as well.
Oh my word.
Oh indeed. Look at this 4-way fight. If you get on board with Tudge, you can see Mac, you can see a fantastic view of this fight going on. And our gamer says that McKender is the quiet monster, as McKender's going to have a little look here, and Tino too wide in this treacherous section of track. Tino doesn't seem to be fighting it too much, and yeah, I think Tino was quite happy for Mac to pass there. It's heating up, Chief, it's heating up. There's only a few more laps to go, and he says that the Mac has the tyre advantage, And I would agree with that. Mac is a monster. A quiet monster. I have pipped him to win the season. So we'll see how that plays out. But it is getting quite hairy. Oh, not hairy. It's getting quite tense. It's getting quite fiery. And these boys, these guys know. Oh, Justin getting a bit twitchy there. They know it's getting to the crux of this race. Anything can happen now, folks. Any little mistake, and this is disaster for one, and joy for the other as Justin passes in McKender. It's switcheroo here every lap. It's all about positioning yourself for that last lap DRS pass. So you'll want to be second. You'll want to be second in lap 35, so that you'll be. That's right. Yeah, so you want to be second, starting lap 36. Yeah, that makes it a bit obvious. And my old brain not working right here. McKender, our gamer saying no rain, and I think he might be right there, Chief. I don't think we're going to get any of the wet stuff. It might cool down, and that might have an effect. But yeah, a few more laps to go. It's getting tense.
Yeah, Meepo in P6 had dropped off, was not in DRS range, but the fact that the leaders now all bunched up like this has allowed Meepo to enter the fray. P6, but he is on quite fresh tyres compared to most of the guys around him here, and we're seeing a yellow flag. That's Noah, I think, at the side of the track there. It shouldn't come into play, hopefully, as he will look to get back on track and underway.
He's beached.
Oh dear.
You can reset. You're allowed to reset if you're beached.
Oh, and Danica went for a move, and now McKender also trying to use that opportunity to make a move on Justin, but Justin just about getting ahead there, heading into the chicane, and a bit of contact between McKender and Justin into the hairpin. McKender's ERS though quite low. I thought he might engage a wee bit on this windy straight and try and pull ahead of Justin, but he's down to 14, 15, now 16%.
Yeah, Noah got beached, got disqualified, and he mustn't realise that you are allowed to reset if you're beached. That is the exception to that rule. So unfortunately we have lost him. Meepo's dad is asking, could Meepo sprint to the podium? Honestly, it's unlikely. But not impossible. Something could happen in these next 3 laps, because this is getting quite tense, this battle. And Meepo, as long as he keeps himself within touching distance of this fight, it might well indeed keep him in good stead for a podium. But as it stands, I don't think he will have enough pace to contend for this battle. Look at this, they're pushing each other on this track. This is incredible. I don't think we've had a close battle for the race win this season. We've had plenty close fights, but it's usually between 1 or 2, sometimes 3. But look at this, almost 5-way fight. Certainly these 3 guys, the main contenders, pushing each other around this track with only a few more laps to go. And honestly, Justin with almost a full battery down on half, Mac pretty much nothing. Tino might actually be planning something here, a last 2-lap attack, or he might just be happy just to sit here. Hopefully these guys don't interfere. If it was me, I would like to see none of these reserves now get involved in this, to be honest, because this is like legit for the vital points for the title fight, and I'd like to just see it play out on track with no other interference with anyone in reserve. But again, he's allowed to race. So lap 35, Chief, this is it. This is the move. This is the move that you wanted. Dan the Man gets the move on Justin. That might be enough for the race win. That's the position you wanted to be in. So if Dan had hanging on... No, hang on a minute. What am I talking about? That's a lap early. Justin's going to have the run here, Chief, on the last lap. So it might actually be Justin.
Yeah, I think that might be costly for Danica. It might have been better to hang back, but of course, if he hangs back, he might come under attack from his teammate. And even though the McLarens are obviously their teammates, they're not in VC together, and the title is on the line. So the gloves are off as Danica going a bit wide, and Justin closing up ever more, which is going to do him all the world of good heading onto that start-finish straight. That's what it is. The exit from that penultimate corner, and then through the final corner they'll go. But Justin with all that ERS to access, and he's using it now liberally throughout the track here just to close up the gap. This is it. This is for the lead.
Here we go, Chief. Justin deploying everything, training. This is so pivotal. That might be the move for the race win. Tino now challenging McKendor, but McKendor's backing out. Dan the man has everything to lose now. He has to harass the back end of that AlphaTauri. His race win is on the line. Oh, a little bit of a bump there. I don't think Mark and everyone else are in contention for this. This is between Justin and Danny, and both have similar battery. The only other place they've got is the mixed DRS zone, but Danny's going to have to push up a lot closer than this if he's going to want to challenge this, and this might be it. I think that's it. I don't think that Dan the man's going to be able to challenge this. I think this is going to be the grid order. And as I said, oh, Dan getting a bit twitchy there. Oh my goodness, Dan nearly lost out P2 to McKendor. And McKendor, of course, is also fighting for this title. And that's not enough. So it looks like it's going to be, Chief, it most certainly is going to be Justin taking the win. So this will be back-to-back wins in Zandvoort for Justin.
This is huge. This is huge for the title. Justin going to close up the gap. And his main rivals behind him, just behind him, so he will take maximum points here. I'll have to have a look at who took the fastest lap there, but Justin, 25 points for the race win. Danny Coe P2, McKendor P3, so McLaren sealing up that Constructors title. Tino brings it home P4, Touge P5, and Meepo P6 in the end. Let's see that battle for P7 is pretty spicy as well, heading into the last lap. Eagleson looks like he is close, but not close enough. It's under a tenth, but Eagle goes P8 then, and Crystal's P7. Let Goose will bring it home in P9, and we've got Tilda with a coveted P10 position. Larson missing out on points in P11. Wow, what a finish. Not quite as explosive as previous races, but yeah, we'll take it, and I'm sure Justin will be happy with that as well. I think the fact that Justin had all that ERS at hand, it just gave him that confidence, didn't it? Just to take that lead on that final lap, and then he just used that ERS liberally to defend himself there, and Danny Coe with that small mistake as well, costly. But P2 in the end for Danny Coe, not the end of the world, but obviously Justin will close in on that title. I think Justin will now be leading the title, the driver's title. So Justin will be P1 in the driver's standings, Danny Coe P2 and McKendor P3. But I'm very interested to see the points difference between the three of them heading into the next race at Jeddah.
Yeah, man, 2 races to go. Jeddah, and then what is it? Abu Dhabi, is it? Or where is it?
Austria, yeah.
Oh yes, Austria, the final race of the season. Great race, man. Jeddah, and then oh my goodness, Jeddah with those walls, and then Austria is just such a fantastic track. Oh, it's gonna get spicy. I can't wait. A really great race by the drivers there. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and Tino was the driver, took the fastest lap, so as a reserve, he's effectively stole that point away from the driver, so that is not going to be in play. But yeah, there you go, Justin with full points, 25. Danny Coe takes home 18 points in P2, and McKendor 15 points in P3. Driver of the day, what do you reckon, Bob?
Oh, now you're talking. Oof.
It's a hard one, yeah, I know.
It is a hard one there. A lot of the drivers did really, really, really well there. Don't know. I mean, I did watch an awful lot of Tino. I think Tino actually drove really well today to get from where he did and then up to where he did, and then he had a wheel disconnection, then he nearly lost it. He caught it again, and then still stayed within contention. But I need to think about it, Chief. I need to think about it.
We'll have a think about it as we head into the interview section of the session, and let's see who's brave enough to join us in VC. I think Justin's going to be there, hopefully anyway. No one's there at the minute, so we'll give it a few moments. But what a race. Let's have a look at Discord. So we've got McKendor saying good games, ass track. Don't vote these to the calendar next time.
Yeah, yeah. I have to say that I did give him a handshake emoji for that because I'm not personally a fan of Zandvoort myself. Um, but yeah, it's I have no say in these matters. I just call what I see. And
What else we got? Yeah,
I'm here saying that a really great race. I enjoyed it. And Dan the man said, I think I can say this. Dan the man says, shit race.
tells it how it is. Yeah, so there we go. Justin has joined us in the commentator's booth. What a tense race. It was tense for us as commentators. I can't imagine how tense it would have been for you. Maybe not though. Maybe you played it cool there. We saw that you had a lot of ERS, especially at the latter portion of the race. So just tell us about how it was out there. What was your, were you tense? Were you playing it cool? And it just seemed to play out perfectly for you. So yeah, tell us about your strat and how that played out for you.
First, I want to say I want to dedicate this one to Chief.
Oh,
For
oh yes.
already forgot, I see, but moving on.
Wait,
And Bob, I'll dedicate the
I want to know that.
championship.
Huh?
What's this about?
Oh, you had to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had a conversation before the race, and I think Justin was thinking there might be certain elements come into play at the race, and I just said, look, if you win, dedicate the win to me. And I forgot I said that, so there you go. Thank you,
There you
Justin.
go.
I'm honored.
As I pointed out, Justin, you are now back-to-back Tier 1 Zandvoort race winner.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess to answer both questions, because I kind of ignored Chief there, but the entire race was a mix of both. I think for the first stint, I played very much in control. I knew I had better straight line speed somehow. I think I went very risky with the wings, and I went a bit lower than what the average person would. So in the straights, I was basically really difficult to get by, and I was able to save yours a bit faster. But then the second stint, I didn't really expect to undercut as much as I did, but I guess in the end it helped me save ERS, not use it too much. And then as soon as Danny and company caught up, all I had to do was just play it smart. And I even saw both McLarens try to double overtake me, which I couldn't let happen because obviously I wouldn't be able to overtake both on the final lap. But I think the end was stressful, but I think it was all calculated in the end.
Yeah, it looked that way anyway. It looked like you played it perfectly. Were you worried at any point? Because obviously there was, Danny Co, McKender, all your title rival, but also Tino as well, looking pretty fast out there. And he started P7, but he just seemed to get stronger as the race came on. And at one point he was looking like he was going to challenge you, but didn't work out in the end for him.
I think obviously when you have the likes of Danny, Tino, Mac, Meepo, and Twos behind you, you're obviously gonna have that little element of have I bottled this or whatnot, especially when they got back in the DRS. But I still don't know what levels they were at when they caught back up. I tried looking. I had the stream open on my phone on my table, and I kind of every single straight kind of hoped you pan onto Danny Co. But every time it wasn't. But yeah, so I had no idea what the ERS levels were, and I kind of just had to hope that they were in my favor, and I suppose in the end they were, yeah.
Yeah, and then the pivotal point in that race could have been those pit stops. You pulled the trigger early. It seemed we've seen that in previous races as well. Is that a favored tactic for you, or are we just trying to play a bit of mind games with the other drivers?
I mean, today it was completely unintentional, to be honest, undercut. Originally I was supposed to box, I think it was lap 17,
Hmm.
but then I figured the tires are pretty decent. I feel like it would maybe go a bit longer, and already 19 was a bit pushing for me because my tires were already at about 60% overall. I don't know if it was the lower wings obviously playing into a factor, but yeah, no, the undercut was definitely not intentional, but I suppose it helped out in the end.
Yeah, and obviously, the other drivers choosing to go a bit longer. McKenna and Meepo going the longest, it seemed, on those hards, but Danny Co did have those fresher tires at the end. Was that a worry? That was it 2 3 laps younger tires? Was able to close that gap 3 seconds when he came out of the pits, but he was able to close that gap pretty quickly. When you saw that gap coming down so rapidly, were you worried, or did you know that once he hits that drop off point, they're probably going to be quite equal to your own tires at then?
Well, if last time we raced here was anything to go by, it was like roll reversal, where I remember I boxed under the safety car twice, was it, to get those Fisher mediums. I think it was like maybe by 2 laps or whatnot, and in the end they played a crucial point.
Yeah.
But for some reason today they didn't really do much. I felt like even in the corners I wasn't that bad. So not sure if there was like a patch ever since or whatnot. But yeah, no, it felt pretty good. But I was surprised McKender and was a Meepo who boxed with him didn't go for softs because softs could make a comfortable 15-lap stint, but they'd be kind of treacherous towards the end.
Okay, well, listen to this, Justin. You're now leading the championship. I have the results in. It's 166 to you, 166. Danny Co 2 points behind, and McKender 19 points up behind. So it does look like it's coming down between the three of you, but might be just you and Danny, depending on how the next couple of races go. I mean, like I ask you every time, man, but as we get closer to the end of the season, like what is your thoughts on this one? Are you know, are you finding the pressure's getting quite immense at this point, or are you just taking it easy?
Trying to take it easy. I
Trying.
feel like I'm not gonna play any mind games with myself. I think it's best if I just go at it each track, even if it's not a great track. Next track, I feel like I'm telling myself get through next track because Austria is one of my better tracks. So could really go down to the wire. But I hope it doesn't come down to incidents or post-race penalties and stuff. I hope it's like today, a nice, proper, strategic and toss.
Yeah, it was definitely a pleasant race to watch. It wasn't quite the fireworks of previous races. I'm thinking of like Silverstone, that last lap of Silverstone, and there's been various other races for the season. But yeah, I have a feeling that Jeddah is going to be very dramatic. I don't know if it's going to be a good type of dramatic or bad. We will see. But those walls, they make me nervous for the championship. But yeah, good, well played, Justin. That has to be said. Exactly the result you needed today. And heading into the final two races, definitely should give you some confidence that you're definitely capable of winning this title. But it's just, yeah, getting your hands on it is a big task, isn't it? So, yeah, thanks again for joining us in the competitive. But appreciate your time, Justin.
No worries. Thank you guys.
GG.
Bye bye.
So there you go, Bob. We've both been in the position of, a title hunt. Our viewers may not believe that, especially with myself. But yeah, you're a tier 3 champion. I'm tier 4 champion. You're Nana. We're both Nana champions.
That's right.
But what I'm trying to say is like we know what it's like. When you get to those final races in the season and it's still up for grabs, it can get very tight and it really does affect you like mentally. I mean, there's different ways to approach it. Do you just treat every
Mhm.
race the same, or can you escape that? You know the gif where you see all the formulas, playing out, and the guy's just looking very confused. That's how I was. I was going to bed at night thinking, if I win this one and then he comes, you're working out all the
Mhm.
different possibilities. So that's where Justin and Danico and McKenna are right now, and I think heading into it, if you have a strong mentality, like it's definitely going to pay off. Because pressure can create diamonds, but it can also crack you. It can beat you down. It can cause a lot of issues. So I think heading into those final few races, that's going to be a big factor, is the mental aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, we're getting into this stage of the season with only 2 races to go, and yet everything to win and lose for many of these drivers. It is a real test of not only your obviously your driving ability, which has kept these guys in good stead to be get to this far, but it also then becomes even more mental. as you touched on, and it can become quite overpowering at times whenever you know everything that you do can either win or lose it for you. Every little issue, every mistake could cost you like the win. And then there's also the added pressure of when you're on the track, especially if it's the last race. If it's the last race and it still hasn't been decided, that's when like the pressure is ramped to the extreme, because like unless you're leading the race comfortably, you're not going to be relaxed. And I've always said throughout many seasons of here and even over in 2S, and it's just anything in life, I believe that you are far better in a mental position if you are chasing it, if you are in the final race, and you know you just need to finish ahead of the guy that you're competing with. I think that's a better emotional place to be in, because then you've got effectively nothing to lose. It's everything to gain. Or I actually remember some of the Formula One champions talking about this before. You know, it's better to be the chaser than it is to be the one leading and trying to defend it, because if you're up at the front there and you're leading by, let's say, 1 point, let's say, and your direct rivals, you know, not too far behind, the pressure on you to maintain everything perfectly, every apex, every traction zone, every brake zone. Please make sure there's not going to be a safety car. Please make sure I don't get held up by a back marker. It's just ramped up to the extreme. Whereas the guy behind is like, I just need to catch you, and I just need to risk everything to get you. So, although it is nice for if it is Justin, if it'll be nice for him if he's leading, it's also a double-edged sword. So, as two of us who have experienced it a few times before, of course, at a much slower pace, it doesn't change the mental side of it. The mental side is exactly the same. You know what's at stake, and you know what is needed to be done. So, yeah, I would say these guys are feeling it. Maybe they're not. I'm sure some guys are like, yeah, it's not a big deal to me. But I know, you know, deep down there will be a little bit of a meaning for them, because otherwise they wouldn't show up and they wouldn't try. So, yeah, very much looking forward to these next two races coming up in Jeddah and then Austria. I think our gamer's going to be quite excited to see Jeddah. It's his home race, I believe. Yeah, man, don't envy their position that they're in. And it's the same applies for Crawley too. Crawley leading Tier 1, although many people are Tier 3, sorry. Many people think it's pretty much done. Probably is, but still a chance you can lose it. And the same for Gamer and Christian. They still have that mental battle as well. Who is going to come victorious there? Gamer is so desperate, and understandably so. He's come so close to get that title. I'm kind of laughing here, but yeah, basically it's coming down to the crux of the season. There's 2 more races to go in all the tiers, and I would urge everyone, please do not miss the next 2 weeks of racing, Wednesday to Friday, because it's going to be an absolute barnstormer.
Yeah, and we've booked our seats. We're in the hot spot for that one, the front row seats for us, Bob, which is great. But yeah, like you say, you know, there's different ways to approach it mentally, and I think, like, you know, there is a temptation, isn't it, just to go, right, I'm going to grind the hell out of these last 2 tracks. But that in itself can put a lot of pressure on, because, you know, if you put out like 30 hours into a track and then you have a really bad result due to an incident or whatever, like that is just going to break you. Anything can happen, and I'm looking at our gamer in chat saying he is going to race in Tier 1 at Jeddah, so there's another element, another factor to be taken into account. We've seen he can mix it up with these boys at the top end of the grid. Shout out to our gamer as well. He gave me the live standings there. So just to repeat, it was Justin now leading the championship by 2 points over Danico, and McKender 19 points behind. 50 points on the table for the race wins, 2 points for fastest lap, so essentially 52 points can be the maximum gained, and with such small gaps between the 3 of them, it really is anybody's game right now. But Bob, that's it for now. I think we're done with the interviews. I was hoping to get Danico in there, but I think he's dogging, I think it's called, isn't it?
Dogging, yeah.
But yeah, so we will be back next week. Jeddah is going to be interesting. It's going to be super interesting across all tiers, especially Tier 1 and Tier 2, title on the line. The drivers championship up for grabs. I think that's it, but thanks for watching, everyone, and like and subscribe as per usual, and we will be back next week, same time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.